Minki Ankwa Addition Class. Wakade, Mino Dem Awe. Odawa Nishinaabe, Minowa, Norwegian, and Nene. Your Honor, Leona County, and Dojuha. This is my home. The time I have this morning to speak to you is not prepared, it's from my heart. Did I put some thoughts together? Yes. But I'm not reading from any document. I want to first and foremost recognize that this past year has been a very traumatic experience for me. I know you probably hear that a lot from individuals standing in a similar situation as I am. But from my heart, I tell you, God is what's leading me through this time. I hope and cherish that. I was baptized when I was 13, raised in a Christian home, walked away, I think as young people can do, but I'm back in the graces, and I feel good about that. I want to acknowledge, too, the men and women that work within the Leelanau County jail system. This past year, the deputies there have been nothing but respectful and professional towards me. And as a taxpayer, as a prior tribal leader of the Grand Traverse Band, the Vado Chippewa Indians, and 2% allocations that go to sustain the correctional facility in Leelanau County, I believe it's now over $1.8 million. I thank those men and women, because I see the money that goes to establish and sustain Leelanau County Jail and the impact it has on the men and women that are inmates there. I think Officer Dunn told me the best advice when he came in: if you give respect, you get respect. And I lived by those words, and they did too. I can't speak as highly, though, for two officers that work under Sheriff Orkovich. I believe doctoring of reports, falsifying their reports, perjury on the stand should not be allowable. And I hope that at some point policy can be put in place so it doesn't have other effect as it had on my case. I'm speaking of Deputy Wright and Deputy Kiesel. Maybe they're lieutenants now, I'm not sure if they're standing. Tribal politics came in from the very beginning by having a tribal citizen, Officer Wright, part of the arresting on May 8th. I want to acknowledge that where I stand, anybody can be standing there. The media that's here, this could be you. Mrs. Muggenberg, Mr. Donaldson, you both have sons, right?
Mr. Bailey, be better to address the comments.
Well, they both have sons. If they look and turn over their left shoulder, they'll see my parents, Leanna and Mary Bailey, sitting there, watching their son go through this situation. The trauma that they've experienced as well. This can happen to anybody. We talked about the wiping of an iPad. In the PSI, the pre-sentence investigation, it says, do you work iPad with your Grand Traverse Band? I was told to reset that iPad because it was broken and we didn't want information of the tribe going out to a third party. Like any form of government, Leelanau County, state of Michigan, emails at the federal level. People have issues with it.
Mr. Bailey, I'm willing to give you a fair bit of latitude here, because this is a 25-year minimum. If this isn't the time to argue your appeal, this is the time.
Afterlife, heaven, I do. We'll see each other again. And in Anishinaabe-Moan, there's no word for goodbye. You may say, Mamo Pikuabi. Means I'll see you later. But that's the context. We'll see each other again. You and I will see each other again. In Romans, New Testament, it talks about love. And I'm not going to recite it. But at the very end, one of the areas where it starts out, love is patient, love is kind. It ends with, it always protects. It always trusts. It always hopes. It always perseveres. We'll persevere through this. I will. I don't fear my future. God is with me. And I hope to witness to my sons. I truly hope, and I will. I already have my oldest one. If I may have a little bit of closing time here.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, sir. The Traverse Bay Children's Advocacy Center has done irreparable damage to my life, but more. Now, in the actual closing, I thank my mom and dad, who I'd love to turn to, but I'll keep facing you, Your Honor, out of your respect. Their son stood for integrity, principle. I did not take a plea deal. I did not. My uncle and aunt, John and Martin Bailey, they can see their nephew standing here, shoulders back, head up, not out of arrogance. They're standing proud for dignity, perseverance. The bloodline of Chief Kamusa that flows through me. A signatory chief to the Treaty of 1836, my bloodline. I have a brother in the audience, family, friends, uncles, and aunties. The mail that came in, I want the court to know, this the significant volume of mail daily. I offer that only because of the support. I'll tell you what, the most impactful were those survivors of sexual abuse that wrote to me, supported me, and was there for me. That was incredible. I can't even use, I don't know what words I can speak to that. Impactful. It was more than that. I wait upon your sentencing. I appreciate the courtroom. I would hope that we could also look at the process a little too. To have 2 all-white juries was not a jury of my peers, sir. And not you, Your Honor. But when I see racist comments that were made in the opening statement by a prosecutor, assistant prosecutor, when I know that a racist comment was made by a juror that was removed, to me it's a glaring example of the Jim Crow of the North, my situation. Those may be harsh words, but I have to speak to it. I have to say it. I have to say it. Leelanau County, the Doge of ours. Leelanau County is my home. My ancestors' home. I hope you don't take my speech, that's the wrong word. Elocution. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Harshly. No, please don't, Your Honor. It's from my heart. And I prayed before I came in front of you for God to guide my words. And I have full faith that He has this morning. New Butch, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Donaldson, did you wish to?